Growing up with Cliff and Jane was always an adventure. We were taught from an early age that if anyone needed help, we were going to do it. One thing we always talked about is having a Paul, a Barnabas, and Timothy in your life. And I think Dad and Mom have been that Paul for so many people. And now it's fun to watch because they're just Barnabases. They're just out cheering everybody on.
I had an uncle, Leonard Kirk, and he took my sister Gail and I to Camp Shiloh. So we met a lot of people there who had gone to Harding, which was already kind of our aspiration because we had cousins that had gone there. So we were very familiar with all the people at Harding before we ever came. And Gail came the year before me and promptly met Curry Peacock.
Curry has been my best friend since 1957. And so then when he married Gail, then introduced me to Jane. And so, as we've said, we've been together for 64 years. They started intercollegiate football, intercollegiate sports when I was a freshman. They started baseball. Dr. Joe, Pinky Berryhill, and Dr. Gaines were really the people that pushed getting football in. So we started getting letters during the summer, and every letter at the top said, "Let's be champs." We just became a special, close-knit group, and still are today, you know.
The thing that I remembered most about Cliff was how deeply spiritual this man was. I'd never had a football coach before to talk as much about God and Jesus as he did. I eventually changed my major from business to Bible, and I think that Cliff and Jane was a part of that as well.
When I finished at Harding, there was an opening in Lake County, Tennessee. This is Tiptonville. I was at the middle school and I actually started a program, both a football and a track program. I thoroughly enjoyed the relationship with the guys. I mean, that was my whole coaching and teaching. It was the relationships that I was able to build, that we were able to build. I wanted the kids to know what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, and then the how. And I felt like if they could understand that, then they would know what we were doing. And that's kind of been my principle of not only football, my teaching, especially Greenhouse.
When Jesus talks about the final exam, separating goats from sheep, those folks that were selected as sheep said, "Why did we get picked?" And Jesus said, "It's because you clothed me, you took care of me, you ministered to my need." Cliff and Jane Shaw for those kind of people.
When we left Harding and moved over here, I thought I was going to work at Belmont Church in Nashville. And when we got here, the fellow had decided not to leave, so we didn't have a job. But they had started a pregnancy crisis pregnancy support center a year or so before we moved over here. Gail Peacock, Jane's sister, was on the board, and so they had just hired a new director and they needed a public relations, so I volunteered to help there. And I was there 3 weeks and the director quit. So they asked me if I would be the interim director till they found someone, and as I jokingly say, I was interim for the next 9 years. It was really life-changing, and it just said, we need to do even more.
I guess the first time I met Cliff and Jane was in the late 90s. I'd been active in the Crime Stoppers Board. We would go over to Franklin Heights. After a while, we started noticing less and less needles and things of that sort under the swings. We started thinking, what's different going on? We found out that there was a group, Cliff and Jane, who were going around helping people get their lives together there at Franklin Heights. They were bringing pride back into that neighborhood.
We knew that without a relationship and building that trust with these people, we could not help them. And so that was sort of the beginning of our thinking that changed completely on how we would set this up.
What we do, keep throwing seeds, keep building those those relationships and trust, and when they need help, then you'll see them. This is what God is calling us to do, is to look for needs. What needs does the community have, and what can we do to fill them, or to get volunteers to help us to fill them, or if we can't help, we need to know where we can send them.
Never an idea of it being any bigger. This was simply something that we saw a need, that we were going to meet that need. When we decided that God did want this to be bigger than just our family and a few friends going into the project areas, Christy, our daughter, who's now the executive director, and I were sitting in front of the building we thought we were going to be using, and it had a green roof. So we were toying with what should we call this? How would we present it? How would we advertise it? We didn't want it to be a church. We just wanted it to be a ministry, an outreach. And what is it that we would want to be doing? Well, we want to plant hope. We want to water, nurture their dreams and their hopes. And we want to encourage people. So we're thinking, well, there's a green roof. We thought we were going to use that building, and we're thinking, so it seems a little silly, but Greenhouse Ministries, because that way we can invite people in who need that growth and encouragement.
And what became just a heart's calling grew into a mission that the whole Murfreesboro faith community was behind, and it's helped so many thousands of people in Murfreesboro the last 26 years.
Greenhouse is a name that is a physical picture of what we want to do. We are a helps ministry, and our tagline is, we help, we educate, and we connect. It's based on Luke 2:52. Jesus grew in wisdom, stature, and favor with God and man. And so our goal is to follow that progression. We're going to help with physical needs, help with education, and then connect them to a safe environment or to a place where they can feel comfortable. We have this question we love to ask. It's, if time and money were not an issue, what would you be doing? And you'll find that a lot of our clients, it doesn't take them long. They're like, now when I was little, I always wanted to be this. But sometimes because of all the crazy, the chaos, they are unable to dream. And so for us, we want to get back to that, let them dream again. And so for just the moments that they're in Greenhouse, that's our goal. And that way we'll be able to plant hope again.
This is what He's called us to do. And I think that's so important. If God calls you to do something, He'll bring the funds along. Now, it may not be what you would like, as big and bright and shiny, but He'll allow you to bless other people, and that's really what we're called to do.